The United Federation of Doll Clubs presents this version of the Beautiful Dolls of Martha Thompson. 3 members of the Atlanta Doll Club, Diana Lence Crosby, Donald Crosby, and Deborah Fidelia Crosby Bray, present The Beautiful Dolls of Martha Thompson. Martha Thompson was a gifted artist. She was born in Huntsville, Alabama in 1900. Martha finished high school in Huntsville. She then attended 3 art schools in Boston. One was the prestigious the Massachusetts School of Art. She then made her living doing commercial artwork in Boston. Martha Thompson's beautiful dolls are created in a fine porcelain bisque. She gave them a sense of realism. One might think they are moving and talking as they stand together. This grouping of Martha's dolls depict the beautiful expressions and individual personalities. They give her dolls their special charm. Elizabeth Andrews Fisher was editor of the Toy Trader magazine. She was a patron of doll artists everywhere. In the years 1954 and 1955, Mrs. Fisher included the monographs of 9 American doll artists in her magazine. These were written by Helen Bullard, soon to be founder of the National Institute of American Doll Artists of 1962. Martha Thompson's monograph included several pictures of her porcelain creations. Her Little Women group, even in black and white, show the individual characteristic of each doll. In high color, the dolls in the Little Women group have more character than ever. Amy, Beth, Jo, and Meg come to life as they did in the book. Each of the Little Women has her own fashionable hairdo. These are described in the story by Louisa May Alcott. Louisa May Alcott's book, Little Women, was printed in 1868. It became an instant bestseller. It depicted a warm and loving family struggling with the problems of their day. The Alcott home in Concord, Massachusetts, is called the Orchard House. It's open to the public as a museum to the memory of Louisa May Alcott. The movie of Little Women in 1953 starred the most popular of the starlets of the day. It brought the interest to the Little Women, Jo, Meg, Amy, and Beth. Martha Thompson sculpted the Little Women doll heads, arms, and legs in fine porcelain bisque. She brought out the special personality of each character. Jo was the primary character in the storybook. She was the portrait of Louisa May Alcott, the author. Jo had dark brown hair, brought back in a braided bun, and held with a blue ribbon. Martha Thompson's characteristic bodies for her dolls are made from cloth and stuffed with fine sawdust. The Little Women group are 18 inches tall. The bodies are complete with porcelain arms and legs. The bodies are stamped on the back, Martha D. Thompson. The heads are marked along the back edge of the shoulder plate. From left to right, the date, the name of the doll, and the initials MDT are written in the porcelain. Meg's dress of the 1860s fashion features a full skirt of blue-gray China silk. Meg's head has a slight friendly tilt to the right. Meg's hair is caught up in a snood with a pink ribbon across the top. This hairdo features a gold cord and tassels at each side. Amy's dress has a pretty neckline and wide sleeves over the blouse. Amy's blonde hair is caught up in a cascade of curls in the back. A black band around her head holds pink Dresden roses. Beth's dress has an off-the-shoulder blouse and a full skirt. It's made from deep blue flowered satin. Beth's shoulder-length brown curls are topped by twin braids, which are held by a blue bow. For this Little Women group, these authentic 1860s fashion dresses were handmade by Martha Thompson's sister in the 1950s. Martha was especially talented in the use of gold and platinum lusters that are fired into the porcelain. Queen Victoria has a golden coronet. The golden locket and chain complete her royal jewelry. Martha Thompson became interested in sculpting portraits of famous people and European royalty. This porcelain portrait of the young Queen Victoria was created from authentic engravings of 1837. Queen Victoria wears a gown of golden China silk and lace. Her light brown hairdo complements her soft Parian complexion. Queen Elizabeth II became Queen of England in 1953. Martha sculpted the royal family from contemporary photographs. Queen Elizabeth II is a 21-inch tall doll. Her gown is of creamy white damask satin. The perfectly molded crown and necklace are decorated with platinum luster and set with diamond rhinestones. The Duke of Edinburgh is a 22-inch doll. The dashing prince is shown here in his official uniform of the Order of the Garter. The handsome Prince Philip has all the charm of a royal consort. The royal children, Prince Charles and Princess Anne, were sculpted in flesh-colored porcelain bisque. They're shown at an adorable age. Princess Anne is 9 inches tall and is 4 years old. Her hand-smock dress gives her a very dainty look. Prince Charles has a boy's charm in his brown woolen suit. He's 6 years old and 11 inches tall. The royal family of England in the early 1950s brings memories of a true fairy tale time. Martha Thompson created Betsy Sheffield in 1953. She became one of Martha's best-loved dolls. In 1955, she created Little Brother to go with her. Many dolls of Betsy and Little Brother were created and given as a gift to Martha's sister and brother-in-law's church in Sheffield, Alabama. They were costumed by the ladies of the church. Many admired these dolls, and in 1993, Marty Saunders made a paper doll of Betsy. The paper doll of Little Brother features a boy's sailor suit. These paper dolls were given as door prizes at the 1993 UFDC Regional of Hyannis, Massachusetts. Betsy Sheffield was costumed by the ladies of the church in a 1907 delineator's fashion dress. These dresses were beautifully hand-stitched by her godmothers. Little Brother followed in 1955. He was dressed in authentic little boy's sailor suit. These gifts of love gave the church in Huntsville, Alabama, a large financial boost. Martha Thompson created a wonderful collection of 19th century dolls from French fashion prints. These 3 beautifully designed ladies' heads are part of this fashion group. This finely fashioned lady's hairdo features blonde hair with curls. The hand-molded pink Dresden roses are attached to a black luster band. This fashion lady's white orchid plumes complement the aqua porcelain high-framed bonnet. Her applied gold luster necklace has set-in rhinestone rubies. This fashion lady's brown curls and lace bonnet are created in hand-applied porcelain. The large white lace bonnet and deep brown curls frame her pretty face beautifully. In 1956, Martha created the portrait dolls of President and Mrs. Eisenhower. He was the decorated general of World War II, who orchestrated D-Day and led to the European victory. President Eisenhower was voted in for 2 terms, 1952 and 1956. The stately president is wearing a fine tuxedo. It's complete with tails. He wore this at his 2nd inaugural ball. Mamie Eisenhower is dressed in her gown, fashioned for their 2nd inaugural ball. This sky blue pink satin gown features a self-colored overskirt with ruffles. Mamie has a lively, outgoing appearance. She was a well-liked First Lady of the White House. The President and Mrs. Eisenhower had such charisma that they appeared to be chatting with each other while enjoying the inaugural ball. Do you think the President's about to ask her to dance? Jenny Lind was beautifully sculpted by Martha Thompson in 1960. This delicate hand-sculptured porcelain bisque doll is 20 inches tall. Jenny Lind was called the Swedish Nightingale and sang on a tour of the United States for 2 years. Her hairdo features hand-applied roses. This complete costume, with its apple green China silk gown, was similar to the dress Jenny would wear when she would sing at a theater on opening night. Martha Thompson became one of the first 11 charter members of NIADA, the National Institute of American Doll Artists, in 1962. She was a member of the Doll Study Club of Boston. Martha's biography can be found in The American Doll Artist by Helen Bullard, 1967. Martha Thompson was an accomplished artist. She brought unusually lifelike character to her fine porcelain bisque dolls. These beautiful dolls were Martha's contribution to the art of the doll. Every character and portrait face truly seems to convey feeling and have something to say. These are just some of the beautiful dolls of Martha Thompson. We hope you've enjoyed this version of the program made possible by the Crosbys and the United Federation of Doll Clubs.